Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the value equation. This is all about what you can do to make sure that when you're working to sell clients and build your business as a trainer, that you're speaking the right language, right? That you're thinking about it in a way that drives more conversion instead of just more conversations. So let's dive right in. So, first and foremost, we should set the mindset, right? Because I think that it's the classic. Most people mess up their ABCs and then they're surprised when they don't understand something later. And mindset matters. So, first, it's an appreciation that clients don't buy workouts, they don't buy sessions, they don't buy miles of treadmill running. They buy results, right? That's what they're shopping for in every aspect of their life, right? It's not, I'm buying X just because. I'm not going to the dentist just because. I'm going because there's an outcome I want. There's a goal I want. I want clean teeth. I want to look good on this date. So I go buy a nice suit. I want to get fit for my wedding, whatever. As you can see, these are all outcome driven things, goal driven things. These aren't just workouts themselves. Now, the disconnect often happens because, of course, trainers are often thinking about the workouts that they want to host, the number of sessions that they're hosting, the price per hour per session. Relevant things because you're running a business. The problem is, if that's how you communicate to your clients, you can't be surprised that they don't really connect with that. Because trainees, what do they want? They want outcomes. They want certainty. It's not, I want another 6-week Atkins style weight loss plan that leaves me sad, hungry, and not progressing. Right? They want the outcome that they're looking for. And fundamentally, the better you can sell that you are the path to achieving that outcome, the higher the odds are that they're going to convert, because price matters. But if you care about something enough, the price doesn't really matter. And the example I like to use here is, you are motivation oriented and you go like, no, I'm not. I do what it's like, all right. If I told you that 100 miles from here, if you can meet me there in an hour, I'll give you $1 million. You go, I don't care if I have a doctor's appointment in 10 minutes. I will see you there and I'll bring coffee because I'm going to get there fast. It's like, yeah, because you're hyper motivated by the right thing. If I was saying we need to get to El Paso within the hour and for no reason, if I didn't specify that outcome, of course you're not motivated. You have things to do. Taking a nap is better than doing that activity. But notice, with the right motivation, a very large monumental task becomes easy to mentally pursue, right? Doesn't mean the task is easy. Driving and working out and accomplishing your goals is never a snap your fingers and it's done. But if the motivation and the consistency and the discipline are there because the goal is oriented properly, that can be the difference between success and failure. And when you're dealing with, of course, people in the fitness industry, success and failure means a lot. It's not just more money in the account as far as the trainee is concerned. It's, hey, did I look good on my wedding? Did I look good on my date? Did I do this? Did I do that? What's going on with my life? And did I actually accomplish the things with this training that I wanted to? Now let's dial in the value equation. Now, the nice thing is the value equation is actually pretty simple, pretty clean as far as the components to it. So if you can lock these 4 components down, you can really sell most things to most people, especially in the fitness world. So value fundamentally, and don't worry about the division and this, that, and the other. Just think about it in terms of like chunks. The good things are the dream outcome and the likelihood of success, right? I want a crazy dream outcome. Like, I don't want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 20. Great. The likelihood of success. If I just watch YouTube videos, I'm probably going to have a 10% success rate. But everyone that works with Aaron to do their personal training, they have an 80% success rate of hitting their goals. Now we have a very different sales tactic. We have a very different mindset from the customer's perspective because, hey, my outcome, my dream, my vision of what I want is now even better because I feel empowered with this person I'm working with. Not outlandish. It's not, hey, why not lose 100 pounds? Why stop at 50? There's a balance here. But it's like, what's the real goal? And can you get that real goal to drive real motivation? It's not that you should set the goal on the floor And it's not that you should put the goal, next to Pluto, but you want to have a goal that requires a reach, that requires a motivation, that requires an energy that means effort, but also is exciting. Notice that example I used of if you had to meet me 100 miles away for $1 million, does that change if it's $100,000? Does that change if it's $50,000? Does that change if it's $1 billion? It's like, yes, it all changes. So just like things change there, things, of course, are naturally going to change here as well. Likelihood. Everything's a risk, right? Everything is a risk. And clients know that, especially because people in the fitness industry, generally, it's not their first time. Most people that are buying trainers, getting coaches, doing whatever, it's not that you're their first trainer. You might be, but you're not their first exploration into fitness. They've done things they like. They've done things they hate, probably more of what they hate, and they haven't seen results, right? If they had seen results or they were able to accomplish all their goals, one-man army, they probably would. They're there and they're with you to increase the likelihood of success, right? To increase the likelihood that they achieve their goal, or maybe even the speed at which they achieve their goal. Maybe they're really good at being consistent for 3 months, so they need a 3-month plan to get it done. Great, that's the opportunity for you. The other two factors are the time delay and the effort. Time delay is all about, of course, how long does it take? If you can do the same thing as somebody else, but in half the time, it's a huge win. And effort is, of course, how much effort, right? Is it a lot? Is it a little? Is it motivated effort? Is it unmotivated effort? It's the classic. Nobody wants to help pick up the room or clean up the office as like when you're a kid to help the teacher. But the second there's 2 girls there, everyone's motivated to help out. It's like, yeah, because with the right motivation, a lot of effort isn't effort at all. Fair enough. So let's talk about these 4 levels of value. So we briefly chatted on them just now, but I just want to give you the kind of a quick hit list of if I'm doing these things, I know I'm in a good position. So number 1, dream outcome. Is it really specific? And ideally, is it emotional? Because most sales decisions are emotional. When you say, I like that shirt, you're not going, oh, strategically, that shirt is going to provide this ROI to my Tinder profile. It's like, no, you're just going, I like that shirt. I like the fit. I like the aesthetic. I like the way it sits on the mannequin, whatever. And now you're able to be specific about that interest. The second piece, of course, or you're able to, that's an emotional connection. And then it's specific because it's not shirts, it's that shirt, right? So it's like, hey, we're getting ready for your wedding. The only thing you do, the one time you're supposed to do this, right? It's like, all right, that is very specific. It's also very emotional because it's like, you're going to look at these photos 100 times, 1,000 times. They're going to be everywhere. That should give you both the carrot and the stick. The carrot, because if you look good, hey, you're going to look good for years to come. But if you don't look good in the way that you want, you're going to be really self-conscious and really uncomfortable. And it's going to be an outcome that you don't want. Fair enough. That's good to have. And right, some clients respond well to carrots, some need sticks. I myself enjoy a bit of both because for me, it's necessary to have something to aim towards and run away from. Got to figure out what works for you, for your clientele, for the audience, for what they're looking for. And it could be different clients, different motivations, different approaches. It could be that you have a segment of your clients that all are very similar and all really want carrots and hate sticks, or really need sticks and aren't a fan of carrots. Fair enough. Next, likelihood. Likelihood really comes down to, do they believe that it will work? And the best proof that it will work is case studies. So my rule of thumb here, generally, it's my little phrase that pays. Once is an accident, twice is coincidence, 3 times is the beginning of proof. Meaning, if you land a skateboard trick once, cool. If you land it twice, hey, maybe you lucked out. You landed 3 times, you probably know the thing. Same idea here. If you've helped one person lose weight, great. If you help 2 people lose weight, maybe he's got some good tips. If you help 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, the confidence that you feel or should feel will come not from this belief of I'm the best, I need to hype myself up. It goes from, no, I can just look at my history of work. I can look at my output. I can look at the results. And whether or not I feel confident, the results dictate I should be confident, right? It'd be like if your biggest sales closer was like, I don't think I'm good at sales. It's like, think what you want. You close 80% of the deals. So keep thinking those sad boy thoughts and just keep on the phone, mate. It's like, yeah, the mindset matters to a certain degree, but the results are the thing that you can lean on. They're also ultimately what your customer is going to lean on. Every time your customer goes to a website and sees testimonials and case studies and pictures of people using products, that's all them being pre-sold. That's them getting validation from the market. This is legit. Oh, this is valid. This is interesting. This should be something that you pay attention to and, of course, want to push forward in your own selling, because the more proof you can provide, the less risk there is, which means the higher likelihood there is of success. That means it's easier to convert, means you make more money, means the world spins another day. Great. Next, we have time delay. Time delay, it's one of those things. Patience is a virtue, allegedly, and it's one for a reason, because it's real hard, right? And thinking through getting people to stay motivated, you have to play the emotional game too. It's amazing how many people, trainers and non-trainers alike, want people to be robots instead of people just being people. Which means full of faults and preferences and idiosyncrasies or little, unique things to them, whatever it might be. But the interest in seeing measurable progress or meaningful progress, whether it's on the scale or off the scale, is, I think, a pretty common human demand, human interest. And to that degree, finding ways where you can give people wins, not fake wins where you're just arbitrarily blowing the poppers to say that, hey, congratulations, pow, it's another Tuesday. Like, nobody cares. But if you can find a way where it's like, hey, what are things, let's just use an easy one. If you wanted to lose weight, let's talk about what your end goal is. I want to lose 50 pounds so I can look great for my wedding. It's like, great. What are all the things that are happening between now and your wedding? It's like, oh, I've got a family reunion, I've got a barbecue, and I've got this. Let's look at your closet. Are there any shirts that don't fit you right now that if you lost like 10 pounds or 5 pounds, they would fit? It's like, oh yeah, I've got these couple shirts. Great. We're going to set, and again, you work with the client to help figure out what they connect with, but it's like, if you lose 5 pounds in next 1, 2, 3 weeks, again, in the early days, losing weight's a little easier, right? You're going to fit into this shirt, and you're going to fit into this shirt ahead of your family reunion. Now you've got a little win on the way to the big win. The big win's a tuxedo and minus 50 pounds. The little win is an old shirt that they kept around that they really want to wear, and now they can, and they can wear it in front of their family. And yeah, some of their families for sure are going to be haters because that's just the way it is, but some are going to compliment, and that's going to give more motivation and more energy, more proof in the process, more belief in the process. What a great thing. And last, effort. Let's face it, everyone's lazy. Even if you work really hard, your body wants to be lazy on average, right? So what does that mean? You have to manage the effort. You have to factor in the reality that some people really love a struggle, right? They may not love it every day, but they want to grind. They want to run up the hill. They don't want to run down the hill, right? Because they want that. Great. Those are things that you can count on. You can build days of big effort, days of relaxation, days of consistency that allow them to not only be consistent with their body, but with what their mind wants. It's amazing how many people preach focusing on the body, but they forget that the body is an output. The mind is the input. It's what drives everything, right? And if you can fix the mindset, all of a sudden you stop eating so much food. All of a sudden you start working out more. You start sticking to this plan better. And maybe part of the mindset is, I've never met a trainer that was able to really show me that people could lose weight. And then they meet you and you show them 20 case studies of men and women that look just like them that lost all this weight. And you hear case studies and you do this, and now the proof is there. Now you feel that it's worth putting in the effort because there's a real game to win here. What a great thing. Last but not least, translating your offer. A lot of trainers, they'll end up using the language that they're familiar with, which understandable enough, but recognize that not all clients are inherently going to resonate with that. So as an example, if you're saying custom plan, some clients may go, oh, it's amazing. It's customized. That's great. I love it. Others go, oh man, they're going to charge me. They're going to customize some plan for me and it's going to cost me an extra $100. You're thinking in terms of costs and negatives, not in terms of wins. If you change that language to, oh yeah, our plans are designed to fit your life, so we make it work for whatever you need. Now notice it's the same offer. It's a custom meal plan, right? It's a custom workout plan. But when you position it as a value instead of an offer, where it's like, oh no, our plans work for your life, we'll adjust it to make it work the best for you. Now you're not thinking in terms of cost, you're thinking in terms of value. It's like, oh, this plan's going to work for me. That's great because I'm busy all the time and I travel and I'm an entrepreneur and I do this and I do that. It's like, that's different than buying something customized. It's just customized anyway. Small nuances mean a big difference in the customer's mind. Weekly check-ins. Weekly check-ins sound like I have a doctor's appointment every week or like I'm going to therapy. Neither sound very fun, right? If you change that instead to we have a weekly check-in, which mind you, it still could very much be in the form of a weekly check-in in the sense you get on the phone once a week or you send a text or you do a Zoom or you do whatever. But it's like, oh yeah, we're going to chat regularly so that way I can ensure that you're making progress. And if we need to make any changes that we can. You mean have a weekly session where we review things? Like that's all I said. I said the same thing, but not only did I say a bunch more words, but I made it sound more like a human. I made it sound more like someone who was working with you, not someone just trying to sell to you, which is a big distinction. It's like, hey, I'm going to chat with you. We're going to talk about your goals and I'm going to help you get there along the way. Notice this is all value. I want to make sure you're making progress. Oh yeah, I want to make sure every week I'm losing weight or every time he checks in, I'm losing weight. And the next thing is, and we can adjust things. Oh, and if I'm struggling, I get more value because we can fix things. Like you're able to have consistency with your client. And for them, it's a win. And for you, it's a win. That's a win-win. The mindset that I would encourage here is you really want to focus every word that you can on what the client gains, not what you deliver. Meaning when you go to the dentist, you never hear the dentist say, all right, we're going to start by doing a scraping of all the, plaque on your teeth. Then I'm going to do an x-ray. Then I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. They just walk in and be like, all right, we're going to get started today. We'll run you through a cleanup and we'll get you going, right? And we'll get your teeth nice and shiny and away you go. Notice they're selling an outcome. They're downplaying an experience because everyone has anxiety going to the dentist. So they're focused on, oh, it's going to hurt and they're going to do like 50 things to me and it's going to take forever. And they're going to, instead, the dentist walks in and goes, hey, everything's going to be fine. We'll be done real quick and away you go. Real quick could be 30 minutes. And if that 30 minutes is not planned properly in terms of depending on the messaging to the client, that 30 minutes can feel like an hour. There's a great Einstein, I think it was Einstein, he was asked about relativity. And he said, if you put your hand on a hot stove and leave it there for 5 seconds, it feels like an hour. But if you spend, I forget what he used an example, like if you're on a date with a pretty girl, an hour can feel like 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, perspective and the emotion you bring to it can change the way that you experience something in the world. It can mean a workout goes from being painful and unmotivated to not very painful and super motivated, right? It could mean that offers become value instead of just costs. So thinking through this and most importantly, testing. This isn't something where you're going to get it right the very first time. It's something that you're going to learn, you're going to practice, you're going to figure out what works for each customer, what words sound natural to you. But ultimately, the question is, how can you better connect with your customer to make sure that you win and they win? You win by making more money and having a good, trainer schedule, and they win by accomplishing their goals in the, let's call it the most painless way possible. If you can do that, that's a win overall. Perfect. So that was the end of this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on school and we'll chat very soon. See ya.